Ever wonder why some people get rich while others stay stuck no matter how hard they try? It's not talent, it's mindset, and I'm about to show you the difference. Most people work, earn, spend, and repeat, but the wealthy, they play by a completely different rulebook. And today, I'm gonna break down how the top 1% actually think about money, and more importantly, how you can start thinking the same way right now. I've spent years watching how wealthy entrepreneurs, investors, and thought leaders operate, and the patterns are so consistent that once you see them, you can't unsee them. First, assets versus liabilities. Assets put money in your pocket, liabilities take it out. Most people know this, but a new car loses about 20 to 30% of its value in the first year, and around 60% in the first 5 years. Something wealthy people focus on is how fast their dollars grow, not just what they spend them on. Think of it as how quickly each dollar multiplies once it leaves your hand. If you buy the new iPhone, this is probably a liability unless you're a content creator who uses that phone to generate more revenue. For most people, dropping that same money on an online course that raises their earning power is an asset that can multiply their money. The first time I invested into a course, I was able to take that knowledge and turn it into a side hustle that eventually paid for itself many times over. Second, health is wealth. Wealthy people know that without strong energy, sleep, and physical well-being, their time is worth less. I used to run on little sleep and burn out earlier in my career. My ideas and productivity dropped really fast. Once I prioritized exercise, eating right, and better sleep, I noticed my money and creativity shoot up. The top 1% invest in trainers, nutrition, and mental health because they know it multiplies the value of every hour they work. If you don't take care of your body and what you put in it, it's like working every hour at 50% of your full potential instead of 100%. And since we're talking about time, the third thing is that time is the ultimate currency. Most people trade time for money. The wealthy build scalable systems like businesses, investments, and royalties that generate money regardless of the time they put in. They think in terms of return on time invested. For every hour I spend, how much wealth does this create now and in the future? Compare freelancing for $30 an hour versus creating a YouTube video that lives forever. One is linear and one is exponential. You'll make 30 bucks now, but maybe from the YouTube video, you don't make anything immediately, but over the course of a month, 2, 3 months later, you'll see that you'll be earning ad revenue, but also income from other companies you've mentioned in the video. This can be the difference between making $30 in that hour and making $300 in the same hour. Fourth, environment shapes wealth. There's an old saying where the 5 people closest to you are a mirror of who you are. The top 1% take this idea further. It's not just your friends. It's the YouTubers they watch, the podcasts they listen to, and the books that lay on their shelves. They carefully curate both of the real and digital environments. I used to binge entertainment channels, but when I swapped those out for business podcasts and finance books, my mindset shifted almost overnight. Your environment really does shape your ceiling, and if you surround yourself with the right people and information, your life can absolutely change in just a few months. Wealth doesn't happen by accident. Napoleon Hill once said, "Desire is the seed of achievement." The wealthy become laser focused on one goal and tie it to a powerful why. But here's the nuance. It's not about listening to all the hustle culture you see online, because that's just gonna get you to burn out. It's about healthy obsession. When I started growing my social media, I wasn't casually posting videos. I was obsessed with making each one better than the last. That healthy obsession is what turned a hobby into a full-time income. Whatever your wealth goal is, treat it with the same energy. Sixth, abundance thinking. A scarcity mindset makes you avoid risks. The wealthy see money as a tool. They understand the opportunity cost of fear. The biggest loss isn't losing money. It's missing out on compounding opportunities because you didn't do anything and wanted to wait for the perfect moment. People with abundance thinking also know there's always another opportunity. If one investment fails, they don't just give up. They learn, move on, and find the next play. They share knowledge instead of being scared of competition because they understand wealth is not a zero-sum game. Someone else's success doesn't take away from theirs. And instead of asking, "What if I lose?" they flip the question to, "What do I lose if I never try?" That simple change creates action, and action is where growth comes from. Seventh, thinking in terms of ROI. Average people see spending as consumption. Wealthy people ask, "What is the return?" For most, a $200 ticket to an event is an expense. But for the wealthy, it's an investment if it connects them to just one deal, one mentor, or one new income stream. This mindset shows up everywhere. A new car, business expense. A camera that lets you launch a YouTube channel, potentially an investment. When I bought my first proper camera, I'm not gonna lie, it felt like a splurge. But that camera helped me create videos that reached millions of people, which opened doors to brand deals, new income, and opportunities I would have never gotten if I was too focused on what the cost was instead of the return. Eighth, a big mindset shift is understanding how business income is more tax advantaged compared to W-2 income. If you have a job, your taxes are taken out before you even see your paycheck. So if you earn $5,000 in a month, the government might take $1,000 right away, and you're left with $4,000 to live on. But if you have a business, it works differently. You earn money, then you spend on legitimate business expenses, and then you pay taxes on what's left over. So if your business earns $5,000 and you spend $1,000 on things like equipment, software, or travel that help your business, you only pay taxes on $4,000 instead of the full $5,000. That means you get to keep more of your money. The good news is you don't need a massive company to benefit. Even small side hustles count. If you start freelancing, selling products online, or building a small real estate portfolio, you can potentially deduct things like equipment, travel for business, or part of your home office. Normal people can do this too. Imagine you make $60,000 at your W-2 job, and you pick up a side hustle that earns $10,000. If you spend $3,000 on business-related costs, you're only taxed on $7,000 of that side hustle income, not the full $10,000. That's how wealthy people use the system to their advantage, and it's why they keep finding ways to own businesses and assets instead of just relying on a paycheck. 9, thinking on a long-term horizon. Wealthy people zoom out. They think in decades, not in days. Instead of what feels good right now, they ask, what will my 80-year-old self thank me for? That car upgrade might look nice today, but will your future self be happier with compounded investments? Probably. I still remember the moment that I calculated how much $500 a month invested at 7% could grow over 30 years. The answer shocked me. It's around $610,000. And if you keep going for 40 years, it grows to just over 1 million. That math woke me up to how powerful patience really is. Wealthy people know the real money is in the zoomed out view. 10th, they make their own luck. Opportunities don't just fall into their laps. They create exposure. The more rooms you walk into, the more people you meet, the more experiments you try, the more lucky breaks you'll have. Luck is just math. Increase your exposure, increase your chances. Early on, I forced myself to attend finance conferences and meetups even when I felt like I didn't belong. Those random conversations ended up connecting me with people who completely changed the trajectory of my business. That wasn't luck, it was intentional exposure, and that's something the top 1% do to increase their chances of being lucky. The last thing is on giving back and legacy. Here's the raw truth. Money doesn't change who you are. If you're a good person, money gives you more ways to do good. If you're a bad person, money just amplifies that. The wealthiest people I've met think in terms of impact. They know wealth outlives them, so they focus on building something bigger than themselves. That might be through charity, mentoring others, or leaving behind assets for their family. I've personally seen people who only chase money end up being miserable. And I've also seen people who've used their wealth to build schools, support causes, and change their communities. That's when money actually feels meaningful. At some point, your wealth stops being about the next car you want to buy or the next house you want to own. And it starts being about the legacy you want to leave behind. So here's the recap. The wealthy don't just earn differently. That's all wrong. They think differently. They value assets, their health, their time, their environment, obsession, abundance, long-term horizons, and legacy. If you want to start today, don't try to chase all of these things all at once. Just pick one thing and implement it this week. Small changes compounded over time are how normal people break into the 1%. If you found this video useful, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Here on this channel, I share weekly videos on money, mindset, and financial freedom. And if you're watching this and you're wondering how to put those money mindset shifts into action with real numbers, watch my video on how to become a millionaire on a low salary.